What can the letters T, H, and Y teach us about 3D printing? Looking closely at these three printed objects may give us a hint towards what objects can and cannot easily be 3D printed. Let's start by looking at the letter T. You'll see some messy strings hanging from the arms of the T. The stem printed just fine, but when the printer got to the arms, there was nothing beneath them to support it, so any filament extruded by the printer just fell into midair. This artifact on a 3D print would be called an overhang. Yeah, that's not going to work. In some cases, the object will finish out the print, but it won't look exactly how you planned it in your CAD program. Learning from this mistake, let's look at which orientations on the following picture would be best suited to print the T. A and C are fully on the build plate and have no overhangs or bridges, so they'd be great options. B and D have overhangs at these spots, meaning they'd require support material or they would make a mess. Now let's take a look at the letter H. The polar cloud automatically puts support material beneath the H, making this example less than ideal to showcase the bridging artifact. Still, the printer would have been able to print this part without much of an issue. This bridge is where the printer has to connect two or more raised points. To make things easier on the printer, printing in orientation A would have been a little bit better. There are no overhangs or bridges in this object, and there's plenty of surface area touching the build plate. C still works just fine as you saw in the example, but it'd be my second choice. B is not a good option because of the unnecessary overhangs created. Now what about Y? Why did Y look so clean? Why did Y have no issues printing? Well, the stems or arms of the Y are at a shallow enough angle that they don't actually present an issue for the 3D printer. Let's call this 45 or 35 degrees. This is plenty fine for a 3D printer. Most 3D printers with good cooling can print an angle up to 70 degrees or so. Now if we look at the other ways to orient the letter, A and B are by far the best options. C and D hardly have any of the letter touching the build plate, so it's unlikely we'd get a successful print. So whether you're in the design phase or the print phase, remember the letters T, H, and Y to help you along the way. Happy printing!